All right, here we go. We're live. So today I'm bringing back the I Must Ask You a Question podcast vlog, whatever you want to call it. And today I'm talking with Nadya Tatsch. And we're going to be talking about a transformation of lifestyle and habits through, mindset and fitness and whatnot. So good afternoon, Nadya. How are you today?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Matthew, for this beautiful opportunity. And I love the name of your talk. So let's talk.
Definitely. Awesome. So I know a little bit, so everybody knows who you are. Introduce yourself. I know you have a master's in psychology, bachelor's in education. You're a certified health coach, certified life coach, certified fitness trainer, on and on. I mean, what are you not? That's
Stop
some
there.
amazing accomplishments that you have right there. So introduce yourself and let everybody know a little bit more about Nadya.
Oh, thank you very much, Matthew, and everyone who is listening. Yes, and you can probably ask me first question, what's your accent? So let's get this out of the way. I'm from St. Petersburg, Russia, used to be Leningrad. So that's where my unique accent comes from. And I've been in the United States since 2003. It's been a while, and something you may not know that I learned this language on my own. So I'm speaking my second language, and I'm actually thinking and dreaming in that language. So that's a little bit about me.
So how did you real quick? So how did you learn English on your own?
Well, one summer when I was stuck at home, familiar, I decided I want to learn Russian because we had German all these years, all my childhood, we actually German language. We had German language at school. Second World War, it was still mandatory second language. And yeah, I studied it for 8 years. Can't say nothing. And English always was attracted to me. And I went to the library. I took 2 books. And I was learning 50 words every morning and just tackling the grammar. And here I am. So maybe why you hear my accent, because nobody really taught me how to pronounce correctly.
Hey, no, you know what? I can hear you loud and clear. And that's an amazing accomplishment to learn it on your own, all by yourself, quarantine like we are today, And so tell me a little bit about your journey on how you accomplish, your master's in psychology, a bachelor's in education, correct? Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that journey.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me properly introduce who I help and what I do.
Okay.
And it will actually, when you hear my journey, it will make sense to you why I'm doing what I'm doing based on long time ago as well.
Gotcha.
And I help overwhelmed and overweight professionals to get off the weight loss roller coaster. Who is familiar with that?
Yes, me,
so
right here.
You can become the role model that you know you are. You know how we want to be the best that we know we can, and also be the best for ourselves and for others. And that's what I do through a transformation, as you mentioned, of lifestyle and habit change. And I also know that wellness is just not one area. We usually go to the gym, hoping to lose weight or be cutting on calories. It's really a 360 degree of wellness. It's mindset, it's nutrition, it's fitness. It's actually in that order. That's why I said them the way they are.
Okay.
And I worked with children for years back in Russia. I was as a psychologist. I actually worked with children with special needs. Here I am. It's like helping others is just who I am, and it helps me.
Wow.
And this is actually my master's degree in educational psychology and undergrad in education. Moved in the United States just by an accident, got married, and decided to stay here. And in the journey of starting a new family, having babies, I just, again, loving children and loving my own family and taking care of them all the time. I neglected the most important person, who is familiar with something is more important. And my body started telling me, hey, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. You take care of me.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago, 10 years ago. So I put myself on the journey. What can I do to actually prevent? One of the words I learned, how do I prevent from being sick?
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I can go to the doctor. They can give me medication or antibiotics, but it's not going to prevent and help my immunity be stronger in my body. So I just went on their own exploration for my own self. Okay, what do I do? How do I eat? What will be maybe the natural supplements? That's how I met the company Shackley, because it is beyond organic products, just to help me to fulfill those nutritional gaps that I maybe had. And I became strong enough to go back to the gym. I felt like, oh my goodness, I've got my own energy, like organic energy. And this was my journey of just started learning about the whole health and wellness and nutrition. How about all the toxins around me? About 8 years into the journey. Oh yes, of course, personal development. I took a lot of courses, a lot of training, coaches, you name it. I'll probably know the name or I've been there. And through this journey, I realized it's all great, the nutrition, the fitness, the products, but what we neglect is how ready we are to make the change. You know, I usually hear it was between 2 ears. And being a psychologist by nature, it was very natural to me to look into how do I change the habits? Like really, when we want to be the best role models, we want it to be for a long time, hopefully the rest of our lives. How do you get there? Everything we do, and stop me if I'm talking for too long,
No, you're
everything
good.
we do is based on what we know. If it's based on what we know, it's really based on what we remember. If it's what we remember, it's based on the past, which means it's all the habits that we have already built. If I want to become a different person, a healthier person, I got to change my habits into the habits that my body knows how to. And I got the whole structure how to do it. It's a process. It's actually simple, but it's not easy.
You know, and that's something that we use in the real estate world. You know, that same exact saying. You know, real estate is simple, but it's not easy. So I can very much relate to a lot of what you're saying. Not only that quote, but also, you know, not taking care of ourselves because we're always too busy with other stuff and taking care of other people. Yet, if we don't take care of ourselves, then how can we take care of other people? You know. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So tell me a little bit about, I know you do some coaching and you have a program out there that I actually signed up for because I wanted to know more. But like you said, it all starts with mindset. So tell me a little bit about what maybe someone can do to help their mindset to start creating those habits or to start that transformation journey.
So how to start? What's the first step?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. I would actually say the 2 steps, but the easiest step is to start doing it. Like, you know, if I ask you the question, what is one thing you know you need to be doing that you're not doing right now? What will it be? I'm
Me?
sorry if I'm putting you on the spot.
Probably not eating right.
Okay.
You know.
So what is it that you know you need to be eating right now that you're not consistent with?
Yeah, I mean, my diet is horrible right now, especially being quarantined. You know, it's easy to go get the cookies out of the pantry or, you know, stuff like that. And I know I shouldn't, but yet I still do.
Okay, so eating cookies. Just take one thing to answer your question. Not eating cookies. Ask for accountability because you do for somebody else better than for yourself. And do it long enough. When you do it long enough, guess what? It becomes your healthy action becomes your healthy habit.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep that accountability.
Got it.
The second answer will be really be present to why you're actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The moment where you feel like I've had 7 days of no cookies, I deserve it. If you don't know your why you need to be healthy, what drives you to be your best role model, the cookie is there, the mouth is available, you know?
Yeah.
But having that strong why, some people put it right there on the refrigerator. Maybe it's the picture. Will remind you why you're doing it. And the
Got
answer
it.
will be easy.
Yeah, definitely. Now,
Okay.
tell me a little bit about your new program that you have that you're launching. For somebody like me, what's crazy is I started, a health journey a while back, and I started running a lot, and I was doing great, but then I just fell off, at the end of last year, and it's carried on into this year. And so I really need to get back at it. And I really was interested in the program that you're offering, because it's called like something about baby steps. And I think that's really where myself and a lot of others need to start, because we all try to, okay, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start running. I'm start eating better. And then 3 days later, we're back to our old habits, because maybe we didn't take those necessary baby steps to position ourselves a little bit better. So tell me a little bit about that.
The baby steps. It's interesting. It's about 10 years of my own wellness journey into 30 minutes of training. It is a free course, because what I feel is really important for us, just like as you say, those baby steps. And what are those baby steps? It's really a guideline. How do I start? Where do I start? Do I start with fitness? Do I go to the gym? Do I start by tracking my calories? Do I start with this or that? What's the sequence? What's the most important here? And that's how I created the baby steps. And having the background that I have, I believe it works together. And how do you start those baby steps? Each course, it's five minutes per course, total 30 minutes. I'm asking you questions for you to be curious. Okay, how am I doing in this area? How am I doing in this area? So I start by asking you, what is your why? You just heard it from me. Why do you actually want to go back to running? Why do you want to go back to better nutrition? Why do you say cookies are really my enemy? What is that you want to reach? And I'm asking a series of questions. It's really a transformational questions on your why, like I'm peeling those layers. And you want to find that really strong why. I usually say the why that makes you cry, because that will be a strong motivation when nobody is watching. What do you do? Second step is, this is my belief as a health coach, after mindset is knowing your why, nutrition. You are what you eat. Help your body, help yourself. How do you help your body? Imagine you're sitting in the car and you need to go 200 miles from here. Are you going to fill your car with the fuel and make sure that the car is in the working condition so it can deliver you 200 miles from now? Yes. Let's do the same thing with the body. For an average adult, it takes 7 years to replenish all the human cells in your body. So let's start now and replenish our body with the fuel to help our body, to help us be healthy. Next step is the fitness. It cannot go the other way around. If you work out, you can work out as much as you want, but if you don't eat, you can't start there. Start with nutrition and then the fitness. And in the baby steps, I actually ask you a lot of questions for you to know what kind of exercise and movement your body really needs, according to what your body needs, where you are, where you want to be. Because not one exercise fits all. Walking for 45 minutes a day may not reach you that goal of losing 20 pounds. What do you do? How do you do it? That's actually quite a clear guideline in that 5-minute video. And the last step is discipline. You remember I mentioned when you do it long enough?
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't do it for yourself. You ask for accountability. But discipline is really finding that accountability, how to be consistent. You do it through your own self-discipline. I got an alarm clock on my cell phone. It reminds me very often what I gotta do. I got Alexa, I got my children, I got my Google Calendar. Find a way to go as long as you can with those actions you said you need to be doing. And then at some point you will find yourself, oh, it's kind of natural to me. That's how it's becoming your habit. It's really wonderful. The whole transformation, it takes time. And I usually even educate, here are those 3 stages of your habit change. Don't expect it tomorrow, not even next week, but just keep going.
Got you. Wow. Yeah. Now, yeah, I'm taking the baby step course now. I watched a couple of videos and it's great information. And it's like I said, we all want to make that goal, that commitment of living healthier. And then we go full speed into it. And then all of a sudden we get burned out. And it's like we didn't take the small baby steps, like you mentioned, into it and doing it the proper way. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. So now, what made you want to get into, now I think you mentioned it before, but if you can just elaborate a little bit more, what really made you get into the fitness side? Is it because, like you said, you were having kids and your body was screaming, or what was your why? Let me ask you that.
Well, the answer might be a little different than what you expect. I live in East Plano, the city of Murphy, and we had just a new gym opened up about 6 months before I became a fitness trainer, actually maybe 4. And I run to the neighborhood park, and I run from my house by the gym to the park and back. And every time I run by the gym, I say, I just need to walk in and say, hey, I'm a health coach. Do you need me? Literally, that was my thought. And one day I actually stopped by them and they asked me, will you consider to be a fitness trainer? My question was, what does it take? I got an answer 2 months later. There is always something 2 months in my life. 2 months later, I brought them a fitness training certificate and I started working right then, the same day. And what I realized that body has been always of my interest, and psychology, nutrition, and I was always curious. So how do I use fitness for wellness goals, for where I want to go? And I actually got that. I got that structure of, okay, if person has this goal, that's what you have to do for fitness. If you have this goal, that's what you have to do. If you have your shoulders, if you have back issues, knees, there's certain ways your body needs to be moving. And I'm just so grateful for having that knowledge to be able to identify, ask right questions, knowing what I'm looking for when I see person moving. And actually, even right now, we're doing online training. All my clients are online.
Yeah. Wow. So now someone had commented here on Facebook and, they mentioned it was Mr. John Sipe. Diet is huge because I'm suffering right now and need motivation to do it. So how can somebody find that motivation? Does it come back to their why, or is there something actionable that they're able to maybe help with that motivation?
Well, John, why do you need motivation? What's behind that you need motivation? Again, just ask yourself, it might be a kind of rhetorical question since I'm repeating it again, but why do you actually need to get back to your diet? Once you're really clear on your why, that is so powerful and inspiring to you, and feel free to connect with me and we will work on that. Motivation. John is going to not liking it, but I'm just going to say it. There's no such thing. Don't wait for it. Don't look for it. You can't see it. You can't touch it. It doesn't exist. Here's what you're doing. You're just doing it. Don't wait for motivation. You just do it. Nike has a good slogan for that.
Yeah.
And I also know just to tell me just do it, I may say forget it. That's where I can ask the person who really cares about me reaching my goals. And I know I can be accountable to them. I'm going to ask to help me.
Got you.
And that will be my motivation.
Yeah.
I hear this all the time. My clients say, I know you will ask me, that's why I did it. Great. And when you do it long enough, it becomes your habit.
Yeah. So now answer this. Here's another question for you. Am I too old to start?
Good question. To start what?
To start this journey, this transformation, whether it's eating better, whether it's, mindset, to get motivated, or, to get into fitness and start living healthier. I mean, is someone ever too old to start this? Or are there ways for even are there ways for anybody in any age group to get started, on this journey?
You probably know the answer. I don't even have to answer it. No, never too late, never too old. My mind is looking for creative ways. Let me give you an example. I had a gentleman who walked in at 83 years old, hardly could walk. Yes, we worked on the fitness as his goal. He was in the gym, and we also worked on the diet. And knowing who I am, everyone gets into the mindset as well. 6 months later, when the person, 83-year-old person, could not even hardly walk, he's standing. I gotta show it to you because I don't like if I say
Yeah.
this sit, where you sit like this with your legs straight up for 1 minute on the box, the plyo box. You have to have your body strength to be able to do that. Even the strongest person who is weightlifting may not be able to do that. Never too late. It depends what your motivation is, what your goal is, what you want to achieve, and baby steps. Don't jump into everything. That's just attempt to failure. One step at a time.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the diet. John mentioned diet. There's all sorts of, I guess you could say, these programs out there, these quick fix programs, all kinds of supplements, different products. There's Advocare, Herbalife. You like Shaklee. There's all kinds of different products out there. Tell me a little bit about diet. Is one better than the other, or are they all good? You just got to kind of do your research. What can you tell me a little bit more about diet and what you're putting into your body with all these products?
Right. So look at your body as, I'll just give the same example, the vehicle. So the vehicle needs to have certain components. You can't just take one component and say the vehicle is going to run. Most likely it will, if it's something you can, run on without for a while, but then eventually the vehicle is going to put the light on and say it's not working anymore, you got to replace it. Me as a holistic health coach, I look at the body as the whole component. The body is designed by nature. If you support particular diet, feel free. My approach, the body needs the balance of main macros, which is our fat, protein, and carbohydrates. You've got to give your body the proper percentage, the proper caloric amount, so the body can properly run. And then, of course, if you have, let's say, stress, your body is most likely depleted with vitamin B, with vitamin D, then you can use the supplementation, a good quality one, to help those nutritional gaps. Start with nutrition, where you put the food on your plate. I'm trying to use the clean piece of page. Imagine this is your plate. That's where you start your nutrition. My approach as a health coach, start what you're already doing. Let's not buy something additional in order to help us if you're not doing the basics, okay, the baby steps. So if you split your plate, I'm not a good drawer, but if you split your plate, look at your plate as, okay, how much protein do I have? How much lean meat do I have, or vegetable? How much healthy fat do I have? So you need to have the combination of everything on your plate.
So the right proportions of each one, basically.
Right.
Got you. Awesome. Well, Nadia, this has been some amazing information. I know here afterwards, everybody, she'll post the link where you can sign up for her free course, of the baby steps, and just see if it's for you. We'll finish up here in a little bit, but real quick, during these times, with COVID-19 and things, how are you still able to, like you said, you moved your stuff virtual? You're still helping clients. I mean, can you talk to somebody who may be like, well, she's not going to be able to help me because it's not in person, and talk a little bit about how you've adjusted your business to take it onto virtual to still help others accomplish their transformations in their journey.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I did post the baby steps course in the
Awesome.
comments. And if you're saying that she's not going to help me right now, ask yourself a question. What's there? Why are you actually saying that the person is not able to help you? You know you need help if you know that you need help. Maybe the obstacle you're putting, or the reason you're putting between the person can help me, I can use this person's help, is actually exactly why you need to do it right now. I hear my husband is from the hospital, I need to help him, I need to wash the windows, kids at home, I'm just too busy. That's why you need help right now, to learn how to manage yourself in your busy lifestyle. I switched my business to online with challenges and triumphs at the same time.
Yeah.
I am quite comfortable, if I may say, online on social media. So I already have my Friends and Health Facebook group. We always have our gatherings in there for a long time. I go live every Friday. So when I learned I'm going to be at home for so many hours, I just got a few extra hours. I can do something, let's say, to give an additional service, if I may say. And I build those 3 online courses for different levels, different pricing, different times of training. If you know, baby steps is a simple one. And this way we can start with just something basic, just to learn that step-by-step guideline, into we have 6-week masterclass where we dive deep into, we get daily tips. We also coach together on weekly calls as a group, and it's all virtual. We don't meet physically anywhere. It's online, it's on Zoom, whatever level that you feel this is my level, we can definitely do that. And fitness seems to be picking up as well. So training online seems to be a way to go right now. Actually, one of my clients just a couple of days ago, she said, it's interesting how you train. When you train me online, you always tell me what movement substitute what machine. I didn't realize I was doing it. She says, I got a whole array of everything I can do in the gym, but I can do it at home. And guess what? When you get too busy to go to the gym, life is going to get busy very soon, in a week or so. You will not have an excuse, I don't have time to go to the gym. You will know exactly what you need to do being at home.
Okay, now last question. You mentioned it a few times. People are saying, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. I mean, whether they're coaching with you one-on-one, whether they're taking one of your courses, I mean, literally, what kind of time is someone looking at to add to their schedule or to adjust and to fit into their schedule? Like, is a 20-minute workout going to be great? Do they have to work out for an hour to see results? I mean, it's as simple as that, where people may not think like, oh, it's only going to take that little. I mean, I have that time, so what do you think time wise someone is really committed to daily, and where they'll be able to see changes down the road if they do it consistently?
Yeah, it's a good question. And if you want to look at the time, I would say from 20 minutes to an hour, depending what you do. Let's say right now I just want to focus on fitness. It can be 20-30 minutes, let's say 3 times a week, because you really have to give time for fitness. If you want to dive a little more into how do I develop myself, maybe journaling, maybe how do I meditate, what books do I need to listen to start my mindset, It might take a little bit of time. Literally, you have to sit down and journal 5 minutes. Here you go, the time. It just adds up. But if you do it, think about when you invest in yourself, in the way that your body is producing your natural energy, your clarity, the creativity, that time is investment in you being effective, faster, and creating the results in your life and your personal and the business that you actually want. So you spend less time working because you're so effective and you know where to put your intention instead of dragging your feet. You have no energy, you ate crappy, you didn't exercise, you feel crappy, your thoughts are crappy. Guess how the day goes? Guess how your business goes? And those hours become just not worth it. No.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Sign up for her course, the baby steps. It's free. Get that little taste. If you're like me, you're home quarantined and you have been slacking and you haven't really, committed and to that transformation that you've always wanted. I mean, start now. You're at home. You have the time. You just have to make the time and adjust. And Nadya is going to help you get there. So everybody sign up for her course. Reach out to her if you have any other questions. I'm sure she's happy to answer them. And Nadya, thank you so much for being on here today. I really appreciate it. And if I can do anything for you, anything else in the future, please reach out and let me know.
Give everybody a smile. Thank you so much, Matthew, for doing this. And everyone, yes, I know we're busy, but again, let's think about our why and let's help our physical body to help ourselves to reach the goals we want so we can be healthy as individuals and create that ripple effect in the world of health and happiness. That's my ultimate goal. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nadya. Wish you the best and have a great day. All right.
Thanks so much, Matthew.